Hello everyone, and welcome back to your favorite entertainment channel, YouTube. Today, we are going to recap a movie. It's a drama history war film from 2001 titled Enemy of the Gates. In 1942, a year after the Germans invaded the Soviet Union, Red Army soldier Vasily Zaytsev was on a train to Stalingrad. He was thinking about the time his grandfather taught him how to shoot a rifle while hunting with him on the train. There are a lot of other soldiers and civilians, like Tanya Chernova, whom Vasily sees but doesn't dare talk to. The civilians leave in the middle of the trip, while the soldiers are dropped right in the middle of the Battle of Stalingrad. They have to get on a boat to get to the front lines, and as soon as the enemy sees them, they drop bombs and start shooting at them. Many soldiers are killed, and when the other soldiers see this, they jump into the water to get away, only to be shot by their own officers for deserting. When they get to the docks, only 1 out of every 2 soldiers gets a gun. The soldier gives the other person bullets and tells them to follow the soldier who was given a gun. The group is forced to make a suicide charge, which is easy for the Germans to stop. And Vasily, who was given bullets, barely survives the attack by staying close to the ground and pretending to be dead. Soldiers who try to escape are shot by their own side once again. They think they are weak and traitors. The area will soon be covered in dead bodies, making it impossible to see anyone hiding. A few seconds later, a car tries to get through. When a tank shell hits it, it falls over. And out of it comes Commissar Danilov, who runs to hide in a fountain, pretending to be another body in the pile and miraculously not getting killed when a group of Germans drive by, and shoot at the bodies to make sure there are no survivors. Once they are gone, Danilov takes a gun from one of the bodies and tries to shoot some soldiers he can see from a nearby building. But since Danilov is a political commissar, his experience with weapons is limited. So he lets Vasily have the rifle instead. As another car with soldiers arrives, Vasily moves behind a hole in the fountain wall, and as soon as he hears an explosion, he starts shooting each German one by one on the head with absolute efficiency. Hours later, once they have been rescued and taken back to headquarters, Danilov prints a series of pamphlets detailing Vasily's heroic feat. After many days, Chairman Nikita Khrushchev arrives at Stalingrad to help plan the city's defense. They can't afford to lose Stalingrad because it is a sign of Stalin's power. When he hears that his team has lost again, he gets angry and asks his subordinates for ideas on how to boost morale. But most of the soldiers just keep doing the same things that haven't worked for years. Danilov, on the other hand, has a different idea. He thinks that they should give hope instead of punishment. They should create a hero who inspires the people and makes them want to protect the motherland, and he has just the right hero to do it. Danilov's idea is accepted and he is given the title of senior lieutenant. Now Vasily's picture is in the newspaper, which holds him up as a model to follow. He also got a promotion, to the sniper division this time. Vasily becomes the face of the Russian army. He is a national hero and a symbol of propaganda, and his exploits are written about in the army's newspaper and on pamphlets that are posted all over the country. During one of Vasily's missions, a young boy named Sasha Filipov finds him and his team. He invites him to his very simple home where his mother, Mrs. Filipov, makes him dinner to thank him for what he's done for their country. Soon after they get there, Danilov shows up with letters from Vasily's fans from all over the country. As part of a plan to keep spreading hope and propaganda, Danilov makes him reply to all of them, although he's the one who tells Vasily what to write, especially since he has to help him spell. One more person arrives before they begin. It's Tanya, the girl from the train who is like a sister to Sasha and has become a private in the local militia. She's also fluent in German because she studied at the university. Danilov wants to recruit her because they need more soldiers who understand German, but Tanya would rather stay and fight, especially because there aren't enough men in the local militia. She changes her mind after Danilov tells her how much she could help them by deciphering Jerom's information and how he'll send a dozen soldiers for every person who speaks German. The German army meanwhile is starting to notice how much damage Vasily and his team of snipers are doing to them. So they summon German Major Erwin König, a renowned marksman and head of the German army sniper school. He's tasked with killing Vasily, and König prepares a plan to make Vasily come to him instead of doing the chasing. Vasily's team wakes him up from his nap a few hours later because there is some trouble in the department store industry. He shoots a shadow in the window and a helmet falls. Believing they've hit their target, he takes Ludmilla with him to find the body. The companion they leave behind is shot as soon as they're gone. The duo makes it inside the department store and sneaks around until they reach the window, only to find that the shape they had seen is a mannequin posed to make it look like a sniper. This is obviously a trap. When Vasily discovers a cigarette butt on the ground, he realizes their enemy is still watching them. He thinks they should take it easy and stay hidden until they think of a proper plan to escape. But as planes start arriving and bombing the area, Ludmilla gets scared and runs away, giving König a perfect chance to shoot her. But Vasily escapes before König can do the same to him as well. König returns to the hideout he's staying at and gets his shoes cleaned by Sasha, who pretends to be an innocent bystander but is passing König information about Vasily in exchange for food. So the Major will trust him and share information about his whereabouts in return. When the Red Army learns that the Germans are using König, they bring over his former student Kulikov to teach Vasily how König thinks and help him kill him before returning to the field. However, Vasily must attend a special party in his honor after saying hello to Tanya. He's dragged by Khrushchev to see the journalists answer questions, take pictures and look at a giant Stalin painting. Because according to Khrushchev, he's always watching over his country. Seeing the painting makes Vasily think of the day his grandfather taught him to shoot again. It turns out he failed his first shot, and that allowed the wolf to reach their horse and eat it. Some days later, Vasily Kulikov and another member of the sniper team, Volodya, enter an abandoned building where they have been told they could find König as they sneak around as carefully as possible. They find a body in a shooting position and pose like the last trap. This means they're on the right track. After crossing an open area and luckily avoiding all bullets from the enemy, they manage to shoot 2 different repair guys before it's time for dinner. Volodya leaves his partner for a moment to retrieve the soup he had been heating in another room, but gets captured on the way. König and his team try to make him confess where Vasily is hiding, but since Volodya won't talk, they dress him up as their own and send him out to pretend he's another repair guy without knowing who it really is. Kulikov immediately kills him, revealing their location on purpose. So when he makes a helmet appear at the window, the enemy will shoot it and reveal their location as well. König doesn't fall for the trap, so the duo decides to relocate. But when they jump over an open section of the floor, König takes the chance and shoots Kulikov while Vasily escapes safely. This constant chase between Vasily and König is taking too long, and an impatient Khrushchev is starting to get on Danilov's back. After their meeting, Danilov goes to see Tanya to bring her a gift and try to court her. But she surprises him by asking to be reassigned. Some hours later, Vasily returns to headquarters and his mood isn't the best. He's never seen a shot like he's seen today and thinks König may be too good for him to beat. Danilov promises him that they're getting new information and that next time Vasily will be 1 or perhaps even more steps ahead of him. So he has nothing to worry about. But he does ask for a favor in return. He wants Vasily to talk to Tanya and convince her not to ask for that transfer. When Vasily tries to do so, Tanya explains that she asked to be transferred because earlier in the morning, she learned her parents were among a group of prisoners that were executed by the Germans. And she wants to go there and fight. Understanding her need for revenge, Vasily gives her colleague his rifle. After Sasha shares information with both of them, König and Vasily go to the same abandoned building, thinking they will surprise each other. While König waits at an elevated platform, Vasily and his sniper partner enter through and hide behind the pipes, but the shaking of the pipes alerts König to their position. As soon as the duo tries to move, König shoots them, causing Vasily to lose his rifle and his companion to get hurt. Vasily sends his partner back to headquarters since he can't do anything in that state. And while the sniper makes his way back into the pipe, Vasily tries to recover his rifle by tying some rope to a knife and throwing it at the weapon to drag it toward him. But when he finally manages to land it correctly, König cuts the rope with an easy shot. When some German planes fly by dropping bombs, they shatter the glass roof, and some of the shards fall in front of Vasily, giving König a full view of his face. At headquarters, Danilov is trying to convince Tanya not to fight, saying that her skills are more valuable in the intellectual field. Their argument is interrupted by the returning sniper, who tells them what happened. Tanya doesn't hesitate to go through the same pipe route to reach him in order to help, but as soon as he sees her, Vasily tells her to stay where she is and follow his plan. In the same way that König has been watching him through the glass, Vasily has also used a shard to watch him in return, and thanks to this, he knows his location. He asks Tanya to grab another piece of glass and turn it until the light reflects on it and blinds König, creating an opening for Vasily to safely recover his rifle and shoot him. He doesn't manage to kill König, but he does hurt his hand. Later, when Vasily and Tanya return to headquarters, they celebrate being alive with the rest of the soldiers, and afterward, they hide under the covers and make love right in the middle of the communal bedroom. The next morning, Vasily asks Danilov to stop writing about him. He can't carry this weight on his shoulders anymore, and he wants to fight as a regular soldier. Danilov doesn't accept this, and to manipulate Vasily into feeling bad for even asking, he brings over Sasha, who shows him how proud he is for having gotten intel from König with the kid looking at him with so much hope in his eyes. Vasily can't say no, and he allows Sasha to guide him to the area where König will be waiting. The ground is covered with bodies, so Vasily hides among them and proceeds to wait for König to show up. There's an issue however, he spends so much time waiting there that he falls asleep when König finally sees him from his hiding spot. He is about to shoot him, only to suddenly see a looting soldier appear between them, moving Vasily's body as if he were dead and easily stealing all his belongings. The German army captures the soldier and finds he stole Vasily's ID, which makes them think Vasily is dead. König doesn't agree, but he's dismissed anyway, refusing to go home while Vasily may still be out there. König talks to Sasha again and already suspecting what may be happening, and tells him that his next location will be at the Russian headquarters. Khrushchev finds out the Germans are passing around the news of Vasily's death and gets furious at Danilov, who doesn't believe it. Khrushchev however doesn't care if it's true or not. He wants Danilov to do his writing magic and convince the public that everything is fine. Afterwards, Danilov tries to talk to Tanya about her possibly traveling to his house, but they're interrupted when the loudspeakers start announcing Vasily's death as well. Danilov gets ready to write an announcement of Vasily's death as a hero. But at that moment, the man himself comes back. He explains how he missed his shot because he fell asleep and that he had to stay hidden from a man trying to kill him, so Danilov agrees to transfer him. Then Vasily asks about Tanya, and Sasha tells him he knew he was alive and told her. So she's gone to the station to find König and get revenge. Danilov and Vasily rushed to the station to rescue her, and when they found her, Vasily and Tanya kissed, causing Danilov to get incredibly jealous. So when he returns to headquarters, instead of writing his report about Vasily's heroism, he communicates to the world that Vasily became a traitor. What they aren't aware of is the fact that König has seen them at the station and now knows for sure that Sasha has been passing on the information. So he captures the kid and hangs him off a pole to beat him physically, and the one who almost falls for it when seeing the body though is Tanya. And she doesn't go after König only because Vasily stops her, saying that's what König wants. They agree on a plan while Vasily goes after him. Tanya asks Danilov for a favor, and together they go to see Mrs. Filipov to get her out of the country with a special pass Danilov got for her. Mrs. Filipov doesn't want to leave without Sasha, but they also don't want to make her upset. Instead of telling her Sasha died, they tell her he joined the Germans. Mrs. Filipov doesn't blame him for it if it means he's safe and accepts to leave with them. On the way to the boat, a bomb explodes near them hurting Tanya. Danilov thinks she's died and leaves, but Mrs. Filipov doesn't give up and convinces a doctor to let Tanya board with her by showing her a special pass and saying Tanya is her daughter. Vasily and König are at a standoff in their respective hiding spots, not knowing where the other is. Danilov suddenly shows up next to Vasily, and now that Tanya is dead, he thinks he has nothing else to live for and that humanity isn't worth saving. As a way to make up for the lies he made up about Vasily, he sacrifices himself and comes out of hiding so König can shoot him and reveal his location. Vasily thinks ahead and doesn't immediately react. So now König thinks he's killed Vasily himself and comes out to check the body. Vasily is waiting for him midway, and as soon as he aims his rifle at him, König takes off his hat and accepts his fate. After killing him, Vasily takes his rifle and leaves it with Danilov's body. 2 months later, after the Germans have surrendered, Vasily gets a letter from Tanya saying she's alive and being taken care of in a field hospital. Once the city is safe enough to travel, Vasily goes to the address on the letter and then the couple happily reunites. And that is our movie recap for today. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you want to see a review of the film, check out my other videos. Hit the like button, share my videos and subscribe. Please turn on the notification bell to receive updates whenever I have uploaded a new video. Thank you very much for watching. And see you next time, cheers!